Okay, this is construction 15. This is a little bonus construction. Okay, it's a little challenging, but I know if you just follow my directions, you'll be able to get it. So put your heading. This is L15. Okay. The essential question is, how do we construct a regular pentagon inscribed in a circle? Okay. So think about like the Pentagon that you've heard of in Washington, D.C. Alright, we're going to construct one of those shapes. All 5 sides, it's a 5-sided shape, and all 5 sides will be the same length. Then for homework, you'll have CHW15, which will be a handout you'll complete, and you can see the YouTube video CL15 for help. So for the warm-up, I want you to solve the following problem, and that is the construction you learned in the last lesson, CL14, which is to construct a regular hexagon inscribed in a circle. And you can do that in the space provided on your page below. And if you forgot how to do that, go back to that lesson, CL14, and you'll see how to do it. Okay, now I'd like you to, on the back of that page, the title is Construction 15, Regular Pentagon Inscribed in a Circle. I'd like you to write down all of this information, including the directions, and then what I'll do is I'll go through each step as I do the drawing. Alright, so there's the first 5 or 6, and then I'll move it up, and there's the rest. So get all that information down, and then we'll follow along with the directions step by step as we do one of the actual problems. Okay? So once you have that down, take out a new sheet, okay, and put your heading. And the example 1 is to construct a regular pentagon inscribed in a circle. Okay? Now, here's step 1. Use a compass to make a circle of any size. You don't want to make it too big or too small. And make a point at the center and label it as O. So, I am going to move my page down a little bit. I'm going to be about at the middle of my page, and I'm going to put a dot. That's going to be the center of my circle. So I'm going to label it O. And now I'm going to make a circle from that center. Okay, it's not going to be too big or too small. I want to make it at a size where I know you'll be able to hopefully see the whole thing. So I think this size would be good. You can make it whatever size you want, though. I just wouldn't make it too big or too small. Alright, so here I'm drawing step 1, which is the circle that I've chosen. Okay, there's my circle with the center O. Let's look at step 2. Draw a diameter anywhere. Alright, remember, a diameter goes from one side of the circle through the center to the other side, and mark its endpoints C and M. Okay? So I'm going to draw my diameter like this. And it goes to one side of the circle, through the middle, and back to the other side. And now I have to label its endpoints. That's where it crosses or touches or intersects the circle. And it's said to label those points as C and M. Okay? Let's look at step 3. Construct a line perpendicular to CM through point O, and mark the point where it crosses the circle as S. So I want to draw a perpendicular line, okay, that crosses the circle. Either I can draw it this way, or I can turn it over and I can draw it from point O going up that way. I'm going to do it this way. Okay? So if you remember how to draw perpendicular line. It's very similar to drawing a perpendicular bisector, right? We just want to make two. We open our compass as much as we want. We just have to make an arc up here from this end point, like that. And then we don't change anything. We put the compass point on the other point and we make the same arc going the other way. Right? And where they cross is where our segment will go through. So it will go from O through that point, and it will cross the circle. Okay? And where it crosses the circle, I have to label that as, it's said in step 3 as S. So this is S. Okay? Let's look at the next step. Step 4. Find the midpoint of segment SO by constructing its perpendicular bisector and label it L. Alright, so here's SO, right? Now we have to construct its perpendicular bisector to find the midpoint. Alright, now we know how to do that. We've done that construction before. I go on one end and I close my or open my compass until it's about three quarters of the way to the other end point, which is S. So right now I'm about 3/4 of the way, and remember what I do is I make an arc like that, right? Then I go to the other point and I do the same thing, and I cross, make sure those arcs cross in two places, once above the line and once below the line. So now what happens is when I draw my perpendicular bisector crossing those 2 points of intersection, right? I now know that this is the midpoint of SO, and they wanted me to label that L. So that's L. Okay? So let's see what the next step is. We're on step 5. Open the compass so that it is the width from S to O. Then place the compass point on L and draw a circle. Okay? So I want my compass to be the width from S to O. Right there. Then it wants me to place my compass point on L. Is that what it says? Place the compass point on L and draw a circle. Okay. Let me see here. Hang on one second. Okay. Actually, I think there is... Let me look back at the directions and what that says. Open the compass so that it is the width from L to O. Then place the compass point on L and draw a circle. That's what it should say. Okay, so let's fix that. So, I want to open this compass point. I want to put my point on L. And I want my compass to only be the width from L to O, not from S to O. From L to O, right here. Okay, that width. Now I'm drawing a circle using that width, or that radius really is what it is. So I should cross S, and then I should come back to O. Alright? So now you see how I have that tiny circle in there? And L is the center, and S and O are a diameter of it. Okay? Now, draw a line from M through L so it crosses the small circle in two places. Label those two places N and P. So from M through L. And I want to cross the circle and the small circle in two places. Okay? So there's one place. Now I'm going through L, and there's the second place. So those are the 2 points that I have to label. And it wants me to label them N and P. So I'll make, okay, see how I went from M. This is the 1 point on the small circle it went through. Then it goes through the center, and then it goes through the other point on the circle. So I'll label this one P, and I'll label this one N. Okay? Let's see what else. Step 7, we're almost there. Set the compass point on M and open it until the pencil is on P. So let's do that real quick. Set my compass point on M and open it until the pencil point is on P. Right there. So then what does it say? Draw a broad arc that crosses the circle in two places. Label them A and E. So using that distance now, I'm going to draw a broad arc that crosses the circle in two places. Can you see where it crossed? Here's we're talking about the bigger circle now. It crossed here, and it crossed here. Okay? And it wants me to label those A and E. So A and E. Then what does it say? Step 8. Set the compass point on M and open it until the pencil is on N. So now I'm putting the compass point back on M, but it's just going to be, I got to make it so that the pencil goes to N, which is all the way down here. And then it says, and draw a broad arc that crosses the given circle in two places. Label them B and D. So what I have now is an arc, a broad arc that's crossing the circle, the big circle, in two places. Once here and once here. And it wants me to label them B and D. So I'll make this one B and this one D. Okay. Now, step 9 is draw a line from A to B to C to D to E and back to A. Actually, it should say from A to B to D to E. Whoop. A to B to D to E to C, and then back to A. Right? So A to B to D to E to C, and then back to A. And the result will be that you have constructed a regular pentagon inscribed in a circle. So now, using your pen, first we're going from A to B. Okay. Then we're going from B to D. Then we're going from D to E. And then we're going from E to C. then back from C to A. Alright, and then you can see what you have is a pentagon, a regular pentagon, 5 sides, and all of those sides are the same length. Okay, so you can see this is definitely a long, complicated construction. All right, but it comes out to a really cool looking shape. So on the back, you're going to try one of your own now. Checkpoint 1, construct a regular pentagon inscribed in a circle. And then you can do that in the space provided below. And then you can say you are the master at constructions. Alright, so good luck.